Want to make a quick and easy customizable dinner that everyone can enjoy?
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of T-Shirt Cooking. My name is Matthew, and today we're making a unauthentic chicken fried rice.
Let's get started with the ingredients. Light soy sauce, oyster sauce, olive oil, neutral oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, chili flakes, long grain rice, a carrot, an onion, 11 green onions, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs, and 2 chicken breasts. We begin with the chicken breast by removing that one gross nerve on each breast, and then proceeding to cut the chicken into smaller bite-sized pieces before adding them to the bowl. We then take our onion and dice 1/2 of it using our newly acquired knife before adding it to the bowl. Now we add 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of oyster sauce, and 1 full teaspoon of olive oil. We give it a quick mix, wrap the top with saran wrap, and throw it in the fridge for a few hours. It should look something like this. We clean and dry the cutting board, and we begin by peeling the carrot and slicing it into smaller cubes. Be certain that it cooks faster. We then attempt to dice the other half of the onion. However, this time I cut myself, but that won't stop us from making this recipe. We also dice the garlic and the green onion. We will cook the white part of the green onion and dress with the green part. Next, we prepare a hot pan since we don't have a wok and add some neutral oil. We throw in both eggs and swirl them around for about 45 seconds before removing them and setting them aside. Afterwards, we wipe the pan with a paper towel and we add more oil and add the chicken to the mix. Make sure to let the chicken sit on one side for a while so it develops a crispy exterior. Once ready, we add the carrots and onion, and afterwards we will add the garlic and white part of the green onion to cook. We then let this cook for about a minute or so before continuing. Afterwards, we add in the rice and egg, give it a quick mix, and add the sauce mix of 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, and a 1/2 tablespoon of chili flakes. We squeeze the lemon into the pan, and we give it a quick last mix before serving.
We finally reached the time of tasting. Thank you all for still being here. So this recipe seemed maybe a little bit complex to put together. However, I have to say it was one of the easiest ones I've ever had to cook. It was quite straightforward. I would suggest doing what I did, which is you prep everything in advance and then you only cook it at the end instead of prepping and cooking and using the downtime of the cooking to prep. I feel like then you're going to end up getting caught and you're going to have to take food off the heat quite often, and it's just a big waste of effort in my opinion. I left the chicken to marinate in the fridge for about maybe 5 to 6 hours. I'm not really sure. You could even leave it overnight. I really don't even know if it makes a difference if you could even just marinate it immediately and put it to cook. Who knows, but that's just what I see everybody else doing, so I did it too. In regards to the lemon juice, I've made this recipe only twice prior, and the second time I used the lemon juice and that was the only difference, and it did taste much better. I don't know if it was the lemon juice or maybe it just tasted much better the second time. Who knows, but I decided to keep it that way. Now keep in mind, this recipe, you could also add ginger. I personally did not add ginger because we're in the middle of an ice storm and I did not want to walk to the grocery store, and I sure wasn't taking my car because I don't want to put gas in it. Other things you could do with this recipe is you could maybe even put some small pieces of bacon in the recipe just to add some extra flavor, or anything really. I mean, this is the least authentic fried rice that you could get. I mean, there's string beans next to our fried rice. That's how unauthentic this is. And naturally, I have a large portion of string beans next to our fried rice, and that's because once again, the summer is coming. If you haven't heard me say it in my previous video, summer's coming, so we need to be in good shape for extra sports during the summer. So we're going to be having a lot more veggies than usual. So I'm going to dig in with the fork right now, and we're going to see what this tastes like. This sort of tastes like the I'm a simple recipe flavor. You know, sometimes you just know a recipe is simple when you just taste it. You just know it's good, but it's simple. Now let's go for our second bite. Solid. Let's grab a few string beans as well. Wow. So this recipe, more than the other ones that I've made, is most definitely tailored to large portions. You make a nice big bowl of chicken fried rice, and then you could separate it and you could have it with whatever you want. In terms of the chicken, perhaps I should have maybe just cut them in smaller pieces. I'm not sure exactly what I was doing this time. I probably wasn't paying attention because I cut my finger. I should have probably cut the chicken into smaller pieces like the other 2 times I've made this, just so it adds more bite size. I have to say that the proportions are really good between the protein, which is the chicken, and the veggies and the rice, because if there's something that I don't like, it's bad proportions and people who ask you to give money to their GoFundMe because their dog suddenly has cancer, even though it's a 17-year-old dog. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs more than most people. I love dogs more than most dog owners, but I'm not going to give any money to your GoFundMe, all right? Anyways, let's get back to the meal that we were speaking about. So I hope that this was an easy and simple meal. Remember, you could customize this just like all my other recipes. You can customize it however you want, do whatever you want with this recipe. So don't forget to let me know if you decide to make this recipe. Write to me in the comments, send me a private message, send me an email, send me a text. Don't call me, I don't answer phone calls, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.